It's week one and it's time for the recap for Steve Loves Dome Fantasy Football. Alright, we're going to look at some of the big games from the week. 0-1 or 1-0. All the teams are sitting there at that. So we're going to start with the matchup of the week. Team Bleece and Team Bobby Bones All-Stars. Now this was called the matchup of the week before the game even started simply because the All-Stars and Team Bleece met in the playoffs, and it was the only matchup between two teams that were in the playoffs last season. And it was a good one too. It was the only game where both teams scored in the 90s. Aaron Rodgers, a very disappointing performance, not even 200 yards passing. He put up 17 points. Now for Team Bleece, Peyton Manning put up almost 40 points, and that was pretty much the factor and what determined the outcome of this game. Now you also have D'Angelo with a pretty weak day, Jerome Harrison with a pretty weak day, but Miles Austin was the big gainer for the Bobby Bones All-Stars. The Giants defense also did a pretty good job. Now Team Bleece, Peyton Manning, Ahmad Bradshaw, and even Javid Best from Detroit putting up 15 points. Not such a good day rushing, but a couple touchdowns for the guy. Dallas Clark and Peyton Manning together made for some big points as well. 99-94, Bleece 1-0, the Bones All-Stars 0-1. Also, you're looking at the Crystal City Cowboys versus the Fightin' Natos. Neither one of these teams made the playoffs, but there's definitely some bad blood between these two. Final score, the Fightin' Natos 89, Crystal City Cowboys 47. For the Cowboys, it was the lowest score of the entire league for the week. A very disappointing performance from Matt Schaub, who only put up 9 points. Adrian Peterson only put up 9 points. And Jonathan Stewart, 1 point. And that's not even Mike Sims-Walker, who had 0 catches on the day for the Crystal City Cowboys. Now, the Fightin' Natos had a pretty good day. Phillip Rivers put up 26 points, and even Maurice Jones-Drew put up 10. But Sean Green, not a good game. Lost a lot of fantasy value last week. -1 point, 2 fumbles. He also dropped a pass and just didn't get that many carries. The wide receiver, Nene, had a big game for San Diego last night, as it seemed like Phillip Rivers was only throwing to that guy. As we go over to the one-man Wolfpack and Team Watson, one-man Wolfpack, known to be a pretty crappy general manager, did pretty well yesterday. 92 points. Tom Brady put up 30. Mendenhall put up 19. Not the best fantasy day, but in overtime had the big 50-yard run. You're looking at Team Watson, only 65 points. The big loser here. Matt Ryan crappy, Michael Turner crappy, Joseph Adai crappy. His high point was from Reggie Wayne, who had a pretty good game because of Peyton Manning's 1 million points. As we look at the scoreboard for some other games, the Austin Big Ballers, Lunchbox, and Team Cole. Courtney's the new guy to the league this year. The Big Ballers 80 and Team Cole 68. As we look at the Big Ballers, Kevin Kolb put up 1 point and was injured. Lunchbox not looking good at quarterback next week as he has Alex Smith and Kevin Kolb. Of course, he's not going to start Kolb. Chris Johnson put up big numbers for Lunch. He put up 26. Lunch's other double-digit guy was Jamal Charles, who looked pretty good, busting off a big 56-yarder against San Diego. Now, Team Cole, Drew Brees with 17 points, Ronnie Brown with 14, and Antonio Gates with 13. Those were his only double-digit guys. Again, the Ballers beat Team Cole 80-68. Ballers 1-0. Team Cole 0-1 in Steve Loves Dome play. As we move along, we're looking at Team Legend and the Tarantulas, which was the battle of the brothers. It was ugly. It definitely was ugly. Aaron Foster went insane. Arian Foster put up 41 points, had over 200 yards, had a ton of touchdowns. Nice pickup by Team Legend with Arian Foster. You know, you also had Jay Cutler putting up 28 points, had over 300 yards in the air. The Tarantulas, the second lowest point gainers of the week. He had -7 points as he had the Bengals defense playing the Patriots. His big point guy was Eli Manning with 25. Pierre Thomas also had a decent day with 14. As we look at one other match, Team Roddick versus the Chewy versus Nazis. Chewy and Nazis put up 102 points. Only the second team to put up over 100. He was the second high point scorer of the week. Roddick didn't do so hot, only 78 points. Roddick's high point came from Chad Ochocinco with a 21. Brett Favre with 12. Ray Rice, a disappointing 5 points. And Ryan Grant, 4 points. And sadly, Ryan Grant is out for the year. Now, Chewy Nazis, huge game from Matt Forte, who we just acquired in a trade with Team Legend. He put up 30 points. Tony Romo with 20. And the Cardinals D with a big day with 16 points. Again, 102 points for Chewy versus Nazis. And that's week one. We had a big trade as we go into week number 2, where the Crystal City Cowboys sent over Adrian Peterson for Miles Austin and crew. You can see the trade up on the page. Also take part in the message board. And week 2 is coming up. It's the Steve Loves Dong Fantasy Football League. And we'll see you here next week, folks.